Obviously, for a company like ours, it's a market with considerable potential. There are opportunities we mustn't miss.
Growth and preservation of environment can go hand in hand.
We look at the technology more green, more safe.
You must have absolute secrecy protection before showing anything. You have to be ready before coming to China. It's a competition. You mustn't stay at home. If you do, you're lost.
The green business opportunities here in China are enormous and expanding. For green energy alone, there were investments last year of some 50 billion euros. Business dating. A few days ago in Beijing, 6 European companies were present to meet Chinese businessmen. The aim was to try to sell European green technology expertise. The delegates were accompanied by 2 European commissioners. Several statements of joint intentions were signed, such as with the Chinese Minister for Industry.
We have fantastic expertise and know-how. Our companies are leading the fight against climate change and pollution. That's why we're presenting to the Chinese what we have.
All those technologies are somehow existing, and we are in many of those areas world leaders. So we see that here it's clearly wish for cooperation existing and also need for the solutions.
Here's a number to help understand why green technologies are so important here. Each year in China, pollution is the cause of 1,200,000 premature deaths. That is the dark underside of China's extraordinary growth. In Beijing, for instance, pollution is 20 times the maximum level recommended by the World Health Organization. Another big problem is access to water. China has just 6% of the world's water reserves and 20% of its population. This multinational wants to develop gas, which today represents only 2% of the energy mix in China.
We have a lot of contact with Chinese decision makers who are interested in developing this, in the beginning by importing liquefied natural gas, and want to study the non-conventional gas potential and develop gas-powered vehicle fleets, for instance, here in Beijing.
European small and medium-sized companies especially interest the Chinese in the area of energy efficiency, waste management and resources, this pharmaceutical entrepreneur finds.
They have developed very good technology and management system to solve this problem. Currently in China, I think is a long way to go, especially for some special technology.
It's just that doing business in China needs intense planning. Europeans already set up here say they are less and less optimistic.
The price of labour is going up, and also that the regulatory barriers still exist. So there's still issues with forced technology transfer, there's still issues with being able to access the procurement market, there's still issues with IPR and the rule of law and enforcement.
Even though the Chinese authorities seem to want to fight the non-respect of intellectual property rights, it remains a problem. We spoke to a lawyer who advises rights holders to register them in China even if the holder doesn't intend to be in the Chinese market.
One mustn't be naive. The Chinese travel, they go to trade fairs and see products and brands and see that they sell. They come home, copy that and patent the things themselves. Afterwards, try and fight it. If you haven't ensured the right conditions, it's too late.
In spite of everything, China remains a key market. More than 85% of the European companies in the country intend to expand their activity thanks to partnerships and organizations that foster development.
It's absolutely it's essential that you meet with your Chinese partners and you build up a genuine close relationship with them in order to enter the Chinese market. The other thing you have to do is carry out your market research before you get here. Is the market really ready for your technology in the Chinese market, and are they willing to adopt it in the next few years?
Properly accompanied with follow-up by European organizations that help and know the situation already, that know Chinese realities, if one works in that way, I think one can do well here in China.